So finally what do I get? This quantity was 0, the time quantity. So I was left with 2 pi by, now lambda is same, so I'll write this as lambda only. This was x1 minus x2 plus phi so here if I take the negative sign inside, I get x2 minus x1, okay, plus phi 1 minus phi 2. This was equal to my phase difference, which was equal to 2k pi. Now this part I can write this as 2 pi times 2 pi lambda times del x, plus this one I can write that this as the phase difference between the sources. This was my one source S1, this was my second source S2. This was equal to del phi, the phase difference, and for constructive interference this was equal to 2k pi. Now if this quantity is 0, when can that happen? That can happen if I have same source. Let's say I have a setup like this. S1 and S2 are the sources for the waves. If I have the same source for both S1 and S2, then this delta phi source is 0. Okay. So for now, let's assume that this is not equal to 0. So I can write this as 2 pi by lambda del x plus del phi source, or this is equal to phi 1 minus phi 2. So you saw that the first condition I got was T1 is equal to T2 for light waves, and delta 1 is equal to lambda 1. Lambda 1 is equal to lambda 2. This means what? For constructive interference or for interference pattern to be prominent, what I need to have is that the two sources should have the same wavelength, or what I mean is the two sources should be monochromatic. Okay. So first condition for interference or constructive interference in particular is that the two sources should be monochromatic. Now let's forget about constructive interference. This was equal to delta, the phase difference. Okay. So for constructive interference it was equal to 2k pi. Now another thing to note here is that when I have constructive interference, now well, this part is constant. Now what if this happens that the phase of S1 and S2, that is phi 1 and phi 2, keeps changing with time? It may happen that phi 1 is a function of time and phi 2 is also a function of time. If this happens, then what happens? If this both are function of time, then again this side I have a quantity which is constant, and this side I have a quantity which keeps varying with time. So in that case I also don't get a prominent constructive interference pattern, because something which is a variable, this side we have something which is constant. So this should also be a constant. And how can I make this constant? I can make this constant or this difference constant by using what is called a coherent source. So when we say that the two sources, that is S1 and S2, should be coherent, what we mean is that the phase of the two sources, that is phi 1 and phi 2, should maintain a constant relationship with respect to time. So though both of these may change with time, the difference of these two should be a constant. So that is what we mean when we say that the two sources should be coherent. So what may happen is that this phi 1 at time t is equal to 0 may be 30 degrees, this may be 0 degrees. So the difference is 30 degrees or pi by 3. Now when time passes at time t1, this may be 60, this may be 30. Now again the difference is 30. Now after some time this may be 90, this may be 60. So again the difference is 30 degrees. So what is happening here is that phi 1 and phi 2 both are changing with respect to time, but the difference is always a constant. So that is what we mean by a coherent source. Now when we take two independent light sources, let's say instead of taking a single source, if I take two different light sources here, then what will happen is that the phase of this S1 keeps changing at a frequency of or a time period of 10 to the power minus 8 to 10 to the power minus 10 seconds. So in every interval of such small time duration, the phase of S1 keeps changing. Similarly, the phase of S2 also keeps changing, and these two phases are independent of each other, the phase differences. So what will happen is, if we take two independent sources, at some point of time this may have a phase of 90, this may have a phase of 60, so the difference is 30. This may have a phase of 45, this may have a phase of 30, so the difference is 15. This may have a phase of 30, this also may have a phase of 30, so the difference is 0. So if we take two independent sources, then they don't maintain a constant phase relationship between each other. That is why when we take two independent sources of light, we don't get an interference pattern. So the first criteria, as I said, to get interference pattern is that you should have a monochromatic source that is of single wavelength, and the second criteria is that the sources should be coherent, that is, they should maintain a constant phase relationship between each other. So now we talked about constructive interference. Now the opposite of constructive interference, as you might guess, is destructive interference. Now so let's understand what is destructive interference. Now, as I said, that you have two sources and of light, and the two sources both emit light waves which reach here. This distance we assume to be x1 and this distance we assume to be x2. Now for constructive interference, we saw that the phase difference should be 2k pi. Now when we took a single wave, as I told you, this point and this point were out of phase. That means when we, for a given x1, if I took a point at a distance of lambda by 2, I got a point which was out of phase with respect to that point. Or in general, if we take a point at a distance of m plus half lambda, we get a point which is out of phase. Lambda by 2 was equivalent to a phase of pi, m plus half lambda was equivalent to a phase of 2k plus 1 lambda. Sorry, 2k plus 1 pi.